Yasir Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana sat, comma, v'ka'ama, and he said over Lahash Maitza to this Gemara, comma. Amalei Rav Ashi Rav Kahana. So when Rav Ashi heard the whole Gemara from Rav Kahana, he said to him, V'chal heicha deles beitefach. After he heard from Rav Kahana said over the Gemara, and in the Gemara we just said that Rava says that when there's less than a tefach width in the beam, you will not say Chavot Rami. Said Rav Ashi to Rav Kahana, V'chal heicha deles beitefach, and whenever there isn't a tefach width in the beam, comma, lo yamina Chavot Rami, question mark, you don't say Chavot Rami. I've got a cash on that. V'atanya, we learn in the Brisa, comma, Koira hayotzes mikoisel zeh. A koira that comes out from one of the walls of, you've leaned it, stuck it into one of the walls of the mobi at the end. Comma, full stop, and it's not touching the other wall, which means it's going all the way across, but not all the way till touching. In the second case, shtei koiras, two beams, comma, one is coming out of one wall, comma, and the other one's coming out of the other wall. So you've got a bit of a gap between the two beams, and now they're not going across from wall all the way from wall to wall. If the gap either from the end, if there's a gap of less than 3 either from the end, the first case from the end of the beam to the wall, or in the second case between the two beams the gap is less than 3 tefachim, then we know anything less than 3 is called lavud, and we just connect them. One does not need to bring a new koira, comma. However, shloisha, if there is a gap of 3 tefachim, comma, full stop, you do need a new beam, because once it's 3 and there's a gap, then you don't have the halacha, you don't have a good koira. Koira has to be all the way from wall to wall, unless you've got lavud, which sorts it out, making it from wall to wall. But if you've got more than 3 tefachim gap anywhere along the way from wall to wall, you don't have a koira from wall to wall, and that is no good. You need a new koira. Your koira is too small. Rabban Shimon Gamliel Omer. Reb Shimon Gamliel holds pachos me'arba'a, less than 4 tefachim. Why? Because Reb Shimon Gamliel is up the
comma,
yeah. No, you can make a full stop actually. It's the end of Rabbanan. Reb Shimon Gamliel holds.
Where's full stop? It's there, full stop.
Acheres, yes.
Okay. And then Reb Shimon Gamliel comma.
Yeah. Reb Shimon Gamliel is of the opinion, you can write as a footnote, that lavud is up to 4 tefachim. Rabbanan holds only up to 3 tefachim, and Reb Shimon Gamliel holds up to 4 tefachim is lavud. It's a machlokes what the halacha of Moshe Sinai was. When Moshe Rabbeinu came off Sinai, he told us lots of shiurim, lots of measurements of different things. One of them is how much lavud is. And there's a machlokes, what did he tell us? Did he tell us up to 3 or did he tell us up to 4? Reb Shimon Gamliel is of the opinion that up to 4 tefachim is lavud. So pachos me'arba, if you've got less than 4 tefachim gap, then you just say lavud, and therefore, comma, ein tzarich lavikar acheres. One does not need a new koira because your koira is good to go. You fill up the gap of less than 4 tefachim, even though it's more than 3 tefachim, but if it's less than 4 tefachim, you fill it up with lavud. Arba, however, if there's 4 tefachim, arba, if there's 4 tefachim, comma, tzarich lahavi koira acheres, full stop, you have to bring a new koira because you don't have a koira that's going from wall to wall. That is so far the Gemara that's the first chelik of the Brisa. Now, second part of the Brisa. V'chein, shtei koiros hamatimas, comma, 2 beams which are matimas. Matim is a lotion of twins, next to each other, alongside each other. These were facing each other. These are two alongside each other. Now we said yesterday again, the halacha of a beam has to be a width of a tefach. And the reason why it has to be a width of a tefach is that you should be able to hold a brick which is a tefach and a half wide in it. That is out heka. It has to look as if it can hold. It has to be strong enough to hold a row of bricks, and it has to be wide enough to hold a row of bricks. But you don't bring here, you brought here, instead of bringing one koira which is a tefach wide, you brought 2 koiras next to each other, which each one is less than a tefach. This one doesn't have enough width to hold ariach is this brick. Koris hamitiras, comma. Lo bezur kedei lekabel ariach, comma. Not this one has enough space to be able to hold an ariach, to hold this brick. The ariach, this is the brick that is 1.5 by 3. V'lo bezur kedei lekabel ariach, and the other one also doesn't have enough width to hold a brick, ariach, a brick, comma. If you put the 2 alongside each other, you can now balance the brick from using both of them. So if I can use this a second, yes, you're going to balance your brick like this, even though each one on its own wouldn't be able to hold up the brick because it's too thin, but both of them together can hold up the brick, then you're good to go, because at the end of the day, you can do this building on top of it, which is for the heka, so it looks like you can build on top of it. So that is, if you can, then you're good to go. comma. Ain't talk about the Korah Cheres full stop. You don't need a new Korah. Ve'im lav. However, if it can't hold it, meaning because the gap's too big, yeah. Imagine you've got this one which is half a tefach and this one's half a tefach. You can't put it on this one because it's too small. You can't put this one too small. You can't put it here because they'll miss or fall through. So in that case, no good, right? So let's say this is half a tefach, this is half a tefach, and you've got a gap of a tefach in between. If you put this you've got a gap of 1.5 tefach in between. This oriach is 1.5 tefach wide. You put it, it'll fall through. No good. It says in the camera that it's no good. So now let's just go over that. Oh, very good question. Can we just... No, so I'll tell you quickly. The Rishonim are very, very, very busy with this. There's lots of different mahalchim. But the most simple mahalach is, because this over here, what you're trying to do is make a heka, make it look good. Love is not going to make it look real. Love is just a lam d'shazach. Now it gets a bit more complicated. Just remember in a minute we're going to say royan, bring a korah down, and we're going to use that to hold a brick up. So why that yeah and why that not? So that's what the Rishonim are very busy with. The Ritva, Meiri are very busy with. That royan is a stronger way of doing things, even though they're both halacha mishvah sinai, and they're both lamdisha, they're not real, but one is better than the other. It's quite a hard thing to understand, but that's what, when you learn the sugas, you get very busy with. So let's just go over. Two beams which are alongside each other. This one doesn't have enough to hold the brick. The other one also doesn't have enough. If, when you put the oriach to its width, which is only 1.5 tefachim, it can still hold it, then, you don't need a new beam. However, if it can't hold it when it's 1.5...
Full stop.
Full stop, yeah. However, if it can't hold the oriach, it can't hold the brick, because the gap is too big, you need a new beam. Now, just a reminder before you start full stop. Now, just before we start Reb Shimon Gamliel, this oriach that we're discussing over here is a oriach that is 1.5 by 3. Now, we always discuss putting the oriach on its width, which means you're putting it 1.5 way, which means you have a beam of a tefach, you're putting it 1.5 by 3 this way. Now, Reb Shimon Gamliel says it's fine. You can even put it the other way, which means that you'll have a gap here of 1.5. It doesn't matter because just turn the brick round. Now you've got 3 tefachim length, and you can put it on, and we don't mind. That's Reb Shimon Gamliel's chiddush. That even though the halacha that was said about koira was that you should put it on the width ways. No, imagine. I won't say that. Here. So imagine this is 1.5 tefachim. This is 3 tefachim. So normally the halacha of koira should be that you're meant to put it this way, the width ways, that it should hold it on its width. So this is 1.5, bit overlapping on the tefach of the beam. Shimon Gamliel says you're fine. Even if you put it this way, that means that the gap here between here and here is more than 1.5 tefachim. Yeah? So if you put it this way, it'd miss.
Yeah, okay.
And if you would go this way, it would catch it.
Catch it, have half a tefach.
And have half tefach on each side, and you'll be good to go.
Right?
Yeah, is that clear, yeah?
I don't like looking at
If you put it this way, it'll miss. Says Rabbanan, if it falls through and this way, no good. Says Reb Shimon Gamliel, if you put it this way and it'll catch, you're good to go.
Certain amount on each side, or just have to...
It has to be able to catch. The lashon of Rishonim is etzba mikan, which means because if you've got the regular korah, yeah, is a tefach wide, and the oriach is 1.5 tefachim. A half a tefach is 2 etzbos, which means that if you imagine it, then it's going to be overlapping etzba on each side, which the Rishonim therefore say it has to catch on an etzba. I don't know if it's dafka or dafka. They call it an etzba. It catches on an etzba, and then you're good to go. So either according to Tanakama when it's this way, or according to Reb Shimon Gamliel even when it's that way. So this is Reb Shimon Gamliel's chiddush. Let's go now through Reb Shimon Gamliel inside. Reb Shimon Gamliel oimakam. Reb Shimon Gamliel says, "In mekablos oriach laorkoi shloishet tefachim." If it can hold, in mekablos, if it can hold, yeah. Reb Shimon Gamliel oimakam. In mekablos oriach, if it can hold an oriach laorkoi to its length, which is not the normal way we usually put the oriach, this oriach, shloishet tefachim, which is 3 tefachim long, comma. You're good to go. You can keep this korah and you don't need a new korah. However, ve'im lav, if even lengthways it can't hold it because it'll just fall through because the gap between the 2 korahs is more than 3 tefachim, then tzarich lahavi korah acheres full stop. Then you do need a new korah. So that's just the new Gemara. Now we're just going to do. Should we do a few more lines? No. Yes. Yes. No.
You say ve'im lav will also do a comma, yeah.
It's all a bit one long thing, so.
Do you want to stop it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, let's go.